These Psalms are the beginning of the fourth book in the book of Psalms. Long gone is the gloominess and desperation. Instead, we get a shower of serenity, wisdom, faithfulness, and joy. So, welcome to Leah's Bible Babble Psalms. Psalm 90 is alleged to be written by Moses, and it starts with line 1 to 2. Lord, you are our refuge from generation to generation. You were there before the mountains were born, before the earth and the world come to be. You are God from eternity to eternity. This makes us double back all the way to Genesis and the creation myth. Long before everything was created, there was God. Here is God, some kind of force that has the power and the ability to shape and form the universe. I call that force for God, while scientists might call it gravity. We are both wrong and right in this matter. But back to the text. What follows is a list over everything God has created, and what He has created can He also take back or destroy. God created you from earth and dust, and when you die, you shall return to the earth, you mean the ground, and turn into dust once again. We are getting reminded of our own mortality in line 10. 70 years will last our life, 80 if our energy remains. 70 years back then, when this text was written down, was old, very, very old. The average life expectancy back then was about 35 to 40 years if you survived your childhood. So to be 70 stood out from the crowd. In a way, I can understand the people's belief system more than when someone that is regarded as someone that stood closer to God got twice their age. Of course, you believe will increase. The Psalms end in harmony in line 16. Show us your power to us that serves you. Show us your gloriness for our children. The ones that lives in the highest protection and rest in the mighty shadows will say, my Lord is my refuge and fortress, my God that I rely on. This is Psalm 91 and opens up with these lines. That is line 1 and 2. God is protection from harm, relaxing shadows when the sun is blazing, and a shelter for those that believe in Him. The metaphor about God as a shadow or a shade could be a countermeasure for all the cultures that surrounded the Hebrew God and surrounded the land of Judah because of the cultures that surrounded it worshipped the sun disk or a sun god. So the Hebrew God created some sort of a barrier to his chosen people and the heathens. In line 4, God is once again described as a mother hen, or perhaps even the highest among highest of angels. He covers you with his wings. Under them you will find refuge. His loyalty is a shield and a safeguard. And the reason why we will be found in line 10. No harm shall befall you, no misery shall come near your house. And the word house here doesn't necessarily mean a building, it can also mean your family and descendants. And of all the animals in the world, the writer shows two of them to show off God's power: lions and snakes. The lion stands for power, royalty, a top predator in his food chain, while the snake stands for deviance and cunning, scheming, spreading lies, etc. So to really get this message out, God stands over lions and snakes, but also rules over wild animals and dragons. In other words, God is omnipotent. The last part of this psalm is line 14 to 16, is God's answer. Call for me and I will answer. This psalm is for the day of the Sabbath. The tone for the psalm is thanksgiving, glory, and praise to God. As in line 2, it is a good sign to thank the Lord and to praise your name, you the highest one. It is even mentioned that this psalm should be played with 10-string harp and lyre. But it will be in line 11 I will go down on. You make me recognizable to wild ox with raised horns. Another word for wild ox is auroch, and they were massive. I'm talking in present pretense here because the breed is now extinct since the 1600s. But to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here is a comparison between a man, a modern day bull, and an oryx. Not to mention the horns those animals had. So imagine then this majestical animal raising its horns. It is with pride. Not the sinful kind of pride, but with the kind of pride a parent feels for his children. At the same time, the aurochs are the ancestor to the modern day domesticated cows, buffaloes, and bison. Once again, a shorter psalm with only 5 lines, but they got my mind to spin, so hold on. The first line is about what God gets himself dressed in, where we get a clue in line 1b. The Lord has clothed himself in power. And here is where my brains do the math. Power as in ruling power, for as in a king. The exclusive color for royalty was purple. So a cloak in that color would be a sign of power and wealth. Well, today purple within the Christian church stands for penance and grief. But this was written 500 years before Jesus was even born, so it doesn't count. Line 2 gives us a clue that God is timeless, without a beginning and an end. You are from eternity. God has the power of rivers and rise and fall of the sea tide. The writer was onto something here with Because with the modern day science, we know that life started in the sea. And according to the Jewish mythology, the ancient sea already existed, but in chaos, before God swung his power over it and created life. The Psalms ends with, "Your house shall be holy." Not necessarily the building once again, but more house in the form of lineages and legacy. Here, God is asked for protection and should give proof that he is the God of revenge. The enemy here kills widows, strangers in the form of immigrants, and those that don't have a father, aka all of those that are in the lowest step of the soul's staircase, and not much has changed ever since. You can learn what kind of development the society is in by looking at how they treat the unprotected ones. Here is a saying that there's a reason why you have two eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. And that is because we need to listen and to look more than we speak. And the ground idea to that is found in line 9. Should he that gave you ears not to hear, he who has created the eye not to see. The rest of the psalm is just one big glory to God, basically. But the real faithfulness and joyfulness can be found in line 18 and 22. When I am afraid to lose my footing, your kindness keep me upright, Lord. And continues with, but the Lord is my safe haven, my God is my rock and refuge. Meaning that when you build things, no matter if it's something physical like a house or something mentally as belief or spirituality, you do it on solid ground. Secure yourself before, like tree roots, before you can reach for the stars. When I read the text to this psalm, a gospel song comes to my mind called "Come, Let Us Sing." There will be a description down below to, if you want to listen to it. Oslo Gospel Choir do it perfectly. The text goes in the song, "Come, let us sing, sing to the Lord. Come, let us shout joyfully. Let us give all our praises to him. He's the great God." And why I started to think of it, that is because the whole psalm just oozes of joyfulness and thanksgiving, and the writer just couldn't stay quiet any longer, and you can feel it in this psalm. Well, thank you for watching and listening to me. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below, of course, and feel free to browse around in here. There's a playlist for everyone, I hope. And don't forget my live streams that I have every Friday at 9 in the evening, Central European time. I have some of my oncoming shows in the live stream playlist, so you can book them so you don't miss them all. And remember, if you don't know what to do, at least be kind. And I hope I will see you soon again. Bye.